Hi, today we're making Amish, and I hope I do the Amish justice with this recipe. We're making onion fritters. And I got this out of an Amish book, so we know some Amish make it. But we're going to make two different varieties. We're going to make some onion and some zucchini, because we're going to use it as an appetizer with a dip, to show that we can take some basic ingredients and make something that looks really decadent, very simple. So we're going to take roughly 1 cup of flour. This is just ordinary all-purpose flour. Any flour will do. And then we're going to put in about 2 teaspoons or so, a little bit more of cornstarch. What cornstarch does is cornstarch makes it more crispy. So we want that nice crispiness, because these onion fritters are basically an easier way of making a tasty onion ring without all the effort. So we've got the cornstarch and the flour, mix that up a little bit. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, about 2 tablespoons or so of cornmeal. Exact measurements don't really matter. About 2 tablespoons of cornmeal. So we're going to mix all the dry ingredients up together. And then we're going to add our egg, 1 egg, a little salt, about half a teaspoon, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon. Then we're going to add some milk. Milk, 10% cream, whatever you have in your house. So we're going to mix this up into a batter. You know what, we'll use this because it makes it easier, and we're not going to have any lumps with a whisk. Okay. So we've got a nice batter forming, and it can't be too loose. It still has to hold the vegetables in good. And we do have the baking powder, so it'll be still a nice consistency. So just, a little bit better, a little bit thicker than pancakes. Kind of like how you coat fish. So we're going to divide the recipe. So just kind of eyeball it, and we're going to put some in this bowl. Then we're going to mix our onions with this amount. Okay. Add a little bit more batter maybe, just so all the onions are coated nicely. The original recipe actually called for a little bit of sugar, but these are very sweet onions, so we won't add the sugar today, but you're more than welcome to. All right, so we've got this mixed up. And now in this one, we're going to put in grated zucchini, about 1 cup. And now we'll add the garlic. We're going to put in about a tablespoon of garlic, and we'll reserve some for the dip. So we'll stir this around. So out of one batter, we're making 2 different recipes, 2 different flavors. And if you wanted extra color, you can put in a little bit of grated carrot or something else, whatever. So we'll just stir this all in. If you find once you add the zucchini that it's a little bit loose, because your zucchini could be a little bit moist, depending on the age of the zucchini and the size. The older zucchinis tend to be a bit more dry. You can add another tablespoon of flour. Okay. So now let's test our oil to make sure it's the right temperature, not cooking too fast or too slow. So we'll try it out. And try to spread it out a little bit to make sure it's not too thick. I think I put a little too much in there. There we go. Just one scant tablespoon, and it does spread out. And our oil's a little bit warm, so we'll turn it down, because we do want these to be golden, but still cooked in the center. If in doubt, just scooch it in the oven for a little while and finish cooking it. Okay, they're really nice and golden. There, now the oil is a little bit better temperature. You could tell because it should take a little while, a minute or so, before it reaches that really nice golden look to it. If it's a little bit too quick, turn down your oil. Should be about 350 or so. There, it doesn't take very long. If you have tongs or a slotted spoon, it works really well. One thing you'll learn about these videos is you'll learn the fine art of improvising. But you know, this would be a great recipe even at a campground. Few simple recipes, You usually have some sort of batter recipe with you anyway, and just add some fun things to it. And with the fish fry, this would be just a wonderful addition. Use up some leftover batter. There we go. And as you can see, with very few ingredients, it made quite a few. Oh yeah, this is so much nicer. Wow. They smell so good. Make sure they're done in the middle. You could test it if you wanted, just to make sure. But usually when they sort of float, you could tell if you have the right temperature, they'll be golden. They'll start to float a little bit. They'll turn over easily. And they're light. They don't get that heavy doughy feel when you lift them. Okay, and then we're almost ready to start our zucchini ones. They look rather interesting, don't they? And they are more like a fritter than a patty. Now let's try the zucchini. And like I say, if you're finding the batter a little bit loose, just add a little cornstarch or flour. Oh, these are puffing up nice. Very nice. And they smell so different when they're frying. The nice smell of the zucchini is really popping through with the garlic. Okay, let's turn up the heat a little bit. There, and then the next batch will go in and we'll get the dip done and we'll show you what it all looks like. It comes together very quickly. They take a little bit longer to cook, these ones. Probably from the moisture, the zucchini takes a little bit longer to cook, but that's to be expected. They're really fluffy though. If you wanted to make these gluten-free, you can do that as well. With millet flour is very healthy and protein rich. You can use buckwheat flour, a mixture of tapioca and rice. So you're not limited if you have different food restrictions. There we go. They look so pretty with the little bits of green, just gorgeous. Okay. Now let's put in our last batch. As you can see, it makes quite a nice amount for just a very simple recipe. And don't overload the pan, just let them be able to move freely in the pan. This kitchen smells just heavenly. Between the garlic and the freshness of the zucchini, your onions, oh, it's just wonderful. And they're not getting grease soaked at all. If your temperature is right, the cornstarch really helps in that regard, that you don't get the grease soaking that you would do in a batter that doesn't contain it. There we go, almost done. They're really crispy. You can't really, maybe you can hear it. They're really, really nice crispness to it. Okay. Now we'll move this over, be safe. And we will make our dip. So this is some sour cream. If you wanted to add a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise to it, you can do that. And this is celery seed. If you wanted to put in Bon Appetit spice, that would be just great. Our garlic. And our dill. If you wanted to use fresh dill instead of the dried, that's just great too. Even a pinch of cayenne pepper would be nice. There we go. Nice appetizer.